welcome back to The Real Healthy You. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Jamie. I'm Barbie.
That's Barbie. I know I said Mom.
That's okay. I'm Mommy Bobby.
Barbie. And we are here again to chit-chat some more about oxalates. Hopefully you learned a little bit in the part 1. This is going to be part 2 of our oxalate series. And how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling very well, thank you.
Yeah.
I kind of like this subject. I'm getting great information, and for me, when I get good information, I feel good about it because when you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
And I get that, every day. So
Yep.
It's not a subject that you would hear about, but you know what? I'm learning so much about it, and
Yeah.
I can feel like I'm embracing it. So.
What I love about it is that when you start to notice things about yourself and how your body, learning your body, the more you learn it, you can zoom in even more. So although oxalates may not be your first, like whenever you start feeling some, like we mentioned some of the symptoms in the last episode.
Yeah.
So, make sure you go back and listen to that. But when you get these symptoms, you're not going to immediately go, I wonder if my oxalates are high.
No.
That's probably not the first place you're going to go. But you're going to eliminate some of the obvious things, right? And then after you've done that, you're like, I don't get it. Then you want to take a look. I wonder if it's oxalates. So it gives you another layer, meaning afterwards.
I need to mention this,
Yes.
if you don't mind, Jamie.
No.
A very important symptom. I don't know if we mentioned it in the last broadcast, but a very important symptom is lower back pain and on the side of your body.
Yeah.
And the reason that is because the kidneys.
Right.
It's the kidneys, and sometimes you get kidney pain and you don't even relate that it's the oxalates.
That's true. Especially
That's a
if you
big
get
one.
checked and it's not a UTI.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, well, there's no UTI.
Yeah.
It's like, well, then what is it? Now you're kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
now
so
your
take a
kidneys
look
are
at oxalates, right?
It's affecting your kidneys
Yes.
already.
Right.
So yeah.
So,
I
and it
just thought
can't
of that.
hurt to reduce your oxalates and take a look and see what's happening.
That's
So
right.
as we get into this, first of all, we told you what oxalates were, and we told you what the symptoms were. So just kind of as a quick recap.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. As a quick recap, the oxalates are a compound that is found in plants that when we eat it, it ends up in our bodies.
Yes.
So what we want to think about is what foods are high and low in oxalates. So
And even a moderate. You have a moderate,
So let's talk
But-
about the foods that are, let's start with the low. The foods that are low in oxalates, let's see, like oxalate
friendly foods. Oh yeah.
What
yeah.
foods are oxalate friendly?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see, some fruits like bananas.
Bananas, blackberries,
Strawberries.
blueberries.
Yep, these are peaches, pears, those kinds of things. What else? Grapefruits, pineapples. These kinds of fruits are low in oxalate. So have at it. Enjoy.
Did you notice?
What?
We're always told to stay with the berries
Yeah,
because the berries are low.
for the low carb. Yeah.
Okay. But it's very not weird, but you got all the berries. It's very interesting that you got all these berries in a low oxalate friendly fruit,
So now you're getting low carbs and low oxalate.
except one berry.
Raspberries.
That's right.
Raspberries are high in oxalate. Yeah.
Raspberry is high in
And
oxalate.
they're the red ones, so that stands out.
Amazing.
That's interesting.
Amazing.
So the other berries are cool, and then for vegetables we have cauliflower, celery, asparagus. These are all low oxalate vegetables, and like the squashes and zucchini, that kind of thing. Romaine lettuce is actually good. So if you have a nice little Caesar salad,
yeah.
yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
And then in terms of what about like bread product or wheat grains?
Well,
What about grains?
I don't eat any grains, so you can't ask me that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but what's low in oxalates though? Even if you don't.
Well, oat bran is low, barley, white or wheat bread, yuck, yuck.
Okay, so
I'm sorry, I'm very prejudiced against those kind of things, but white rice, which has no nutrition as far as I'm concerned,
so
those are low in oxalates.
So Mom struggles to separate
I can't.
the different
I
things.
can't.
So if we're
Corn,
talking
tortillas, corn, come
if we're
on.
talking about eating clean and low
I
carb,
know.
you're not going to be eating wheat and corn anyway.
It's just not.
So she can't get past that. So now we're going to put the low carb, take it right here, we're going to put it over here, and we're going to talk about oxalates.
I know. I'm
Okay,
so sorry.
great.
I'm
So these are low oxalate grains.
I'm not sorry, but I'm
The
sorry.
wheat, the corn, the rice are low oxalate. In terms of protein, all your protein
Dairy
is
products are good, eggs,
Yeah.
all that.
All
That's
your
all good.
meats.
Fish, meat,
Yes,
poultry, all that, no oxalates.
yes. So you're golden on that.
Mhm.
And then in terms of
Don't forget the yogurt, the cheeses, and all that.
all
no
of those
oxalates,
dairies,
yeah.
butter, all that stuff. So then what about coffee, water? Obviously,
Coffee is good, yes.
guys. Coffee is low in oxalate.
Mhm.
So you coffee drinkers, yay.
Low enough. Yes,
Exactly.
it really is. Matter of fact, it's good for you.
Yeah.
If you're
So-
doing organic, by the way. It has to be organic coffee. I'm sorry.
Okay, talk about organic. Period.
Everything's organic. All these vegetables and all these fruits are organic, by the way, okay? Organic.
Why?
Because they're clean.
Look at the face.
They're
Because
organic.
they're clean.
Because they're organic, okay?
Organic is best. When you can eat organic, please do.
That's the, yes,
Right.
please do. Please do. Don't kid yourself.
So the foods that are higher in oxalates, these foods are the
Oh,
ones
yeah.
that are going to really rack
Yeah.
up your oxalate numbers.
Yeah.
These are raspberries, like we said.
Oh, the raspberries for sure, yeah.
Vitamin C stuff like oranges, tangerines, kiwi,
Yeah.
all these vitamin C kind of
Yeah.
fruits are high. What about veggies? What kind of veggies are high in
Well, the
oxalates?
highest of all, I know
What?
you're not going to like this, but the highest of all veggies,
Yes,
the highest of all,
Mhm.
I'm emphasizing this, spinach.
spinach. Spinach is the highest in oxalates.
Highest of all of the plants.
Part of the reason is because bioavailability is
There it
a
is.
thing.
There it
Something
is.
that's bioavailable, it means that nutrient is easily available.
That's
So
right.
it's not all vegetables and foods are bioavailable. So it's not like paying, like think about if you got some food delivered to your house
Mhm.
and you pay to have the food delivered. You pay all the fees, you do all that. You put it on the plate and then you lay it in front of you like, and then you get up and scrape it off down the garbage disposal. It's like, why did I even look at all that food if I wasn't going to eat it?
That's right.
Because it's not bioavailable.
Unavailable.
That's
That's
what
right.
that means. You can eat it, but
Yeah.
it's not giving your body any
Any
nutrients.
nutrients at all.
Right. So think on that. So that's our issue with
The
bioavailability.
high and the high.
And spinach, unfortunately,
Oh my gosh.
is not bioavailable. A
Mm-mm.
lot of the nutrient, particularly iron, is not available in spinach. Did y'all know that? Did y'all? Hold on. Let's just be. How many of y'all knew that? Like, put it in the comments. That you knew that spinach, which is so high in iron, you can't get the iron out of spinach.
That's right.
Did y'all know that?
Mm-mm.
You didn't know, did you? I didn't know I didn't know for a very long time. It took a while before I knew that because I grew up with Popeye the Sailor Man,
Oh yeah.
the cartoon of
Good old
Popeye. And he was
Popeye.
like,
Mhm.
and he would eat his spinach,
That's right, that's right.
and he would be all punching everybody because he was so strong because the iron in his spinach.
Mm-hmm.
Popeye, dude, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All that spinach you ate, that iron is still in the spinach.
That's
You
right.
can't get it out. It's
Mhm.
not bioavailable. That's tragic. I
And-
think the study shows only 3% of the iron in spinach gets into your body.
That's right.
The rest doesn't.
That's right. And you got beets. People are doing all this beet juicy things, and beets is the same high in oxalates.
Beets
and
are high oxalate.
potatoes. Yeah, the potatoes, the
Yeah.
turnips, carrots. I mean, things you would not imagine.
Yeah,
We just eat them like
yeah. They're high oxalate.
we just don't know how to eat them.
Right. And then you got beans and
Mhm.
like all the different types,
Yeah.
navy bean, kidney bean. All of
All the
these beans are
legumes,
very
yeah.
high in
Mhm.
oxalates, as well as quinoa, brown rice, couscous, all these amazing things that
Yeah.
they want us to eat. These ancient
Right.
grains, they're very high in oxalate. What else? And I'm going to be sad now.
I am sad already. I know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
Here comes the sadness.
Go ahead. Do it.
Tea,
Yeah.
black tea,
That's
y'all.
you right there.
See
She's the
tea?
tea
Look,
girl.
y'all, look.
I can't tell you what she has in her house. Wait a
Black
minute.
tea.
She has this wonderful room.
I'm so sad.
I call it a tea room.
My tea bar.
It's, oh my gosh, this girl has, I can't even tell you
different
all the
teas, I
beautiful
do.
teas from everywhere.
I'm sad.
And she just drinks tea like, because it's tea, but Now she knows all about
Yeah,
the tea.
so black tea, guys, is really high in oxalates. I hate to say that. And also
so
chocolate.
sad.
Even the good chocolate, like dark
That's
chocolate
right.
and cacao,
That's
very
right.
high in oxalate.
That's right.
So you have to pay attention. Cinnamon, turmeric, the things that everybody's all about, they're very high
That's
in
right.
oxalates.
And it's funny you said that because low carb diets,
Yeah.
low carb eating,
Yeah.
it contains so many high oxalates.
Yes, that's true.
And so you got to be really careful.
Yes.
You got to really be the moderation is
Mindful.
key.
Yeah.
You got to be so mindful of how many of these things you're eating
Yes.
during the day. So not that you can't eat them,
Yeah.
but you
Gotta pay
want to.
attention.
That's right. You got to pay attention.
Yes. Yes. It's balance. So for me, it's like, okay, let's see. Ask yourself, what is it that you have to do all the time? You have to balance your life. It's always that. Think about everything. Work, play, right? Sleep, awake. Getting exercise, getting rest. It's always this balance. And no matter what you're doing, you've got to find balance.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're going to go one extreme or the other. And with oxalates, we have these high extremes that are causing us to have these symptoms of too many oxalates.
So what does that mean? Does that mean no veggies? Does
Because
that
of
mean
veggies.
we don't eat veggies now?
Okay, so ask yourself, does that make sense?
No.
Just think about that. When stuff makes no sense, you need to stop and think. Permanently eliminating an entire food group, how does that make sense? That's a red flag. That doesn't make sense. So, you need to find a way to get the goods out and leave the bad. Common sense will tell you that you have got to have balance in your health journey. So yes, you can eat vegetables.
Moderation.
Right. So we're going to mix the high oxalate foods with different times. So I'm not going to eat the same high oxalate food every day, day after day, meal after meal. I'm going to try to find a way to moderate that.
So if I want spinach, which is the highest oxalate food, if I want spinach and I want to get the benefits from the spinach, I want to make sure there's calcium in me. And I don't mean calcium from a supplement either. I mean calcium, real food.
Right.
Okay? And I have that in me. I can have that spinach,
Yeah.
but I don't need nothing else with it. In other words, I don't need another vegetable or another fruit or whatever.
Right.
Just stay right there.
And don't eat it every day for lunch.
And absolutely not. So that the next day you might want 2 or 3 low oxidated
Oxalate.
vegetables. Oxidated.
No, oxidation.
Oxalate. Oh, I can't even say that
And
word.
you can think about seasonal eating because back when you
Ah,
had to eat
that's
by
true.
season, we don't have to do that anymore. So we eat whatever vegetables or fruits we want all year round, and it's available to us. It didn't used to be like that. Back in the days, you had to eat what was available
Yeah.
in the season it was available in, which meant you couldn't just eat it anytime, and it wouldn't build up to the level that it
No,
does
there
now.
was no overload.
Right, because if spinach only grows for this many months, that's the months you're eating spinach.
That's right.
You're not eating it the rest of the year. So you don't have
Then
that
it's
problem.
gone.
But
Yeah.
we have it now. It's the food
Because
is
the availability.
Yeah.
You could make sure it's organic, please.
we back on that. She's
I'm
right though.
sorry. People just, please.
Amen. So that's seasonal eating. The other thing is diet variation
Variation.
is a big
That's
deal.
me.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I love variating my diet. I don't want my body to get used to anything
Yeah.
for too long a time.
It's true. And it gives it a chance to process and excrete what it doesn't need
Right.
as it starts eating something different.
Right.
And it gives you the back and forth so the body's not overloaded with one thing
That's
constantly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
you have to keep varying so you don't develop resistance. That's good advice.
That is, and also too, when you're doing that, you're giving your body the opportunity to not heal you in these different times, but to do its job, what it does.
Right.
And it's going to make you feel good because it feels good.
Exactly.
It's just loving yourself enough to do that.
Agreed.
You
But
know?
think about your job. Like if we work in the office together, right? And your job is to take care of the numbers
Yeah.
in the books, and my job is to do sales.
Yeah.
So if I never did any sales ever, and she was just dealing with numbers all day. And I'm like, la-di-da-di-da. I got plenty of energy. She's working like a crazy lady, right? So at the end of the week, she's like, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, well, next week I got some more for you. And it just keeps going. But imagine if we took turns.
Yep.
And she does numbers, and she's like, hey, you chill for a few days. I'm going to go run out and make some sales. And then I'll give you numbers, and then I'll chill out. That's how the body's doing. So you got your kidney hustling to deal with these oxalates. Give it a break. Don't eat high oxalates a few days. Give the kidney a break and let some other body function, some other process, and some other organs do some work, right? And then you'll be ready for oxalates again when kidney's rested.
That's right.
It's the same concept. You can't just wear out poor kidney. That's just not fair.
That's right.
It's just not fair.
But then the body gets more and more healthy.
That's true.
It's just wonderful. Then you get happy. You're in a good mood all the time, and you're wondering because you want to say, oh, what's going on? Why am I feeling so good every day? I'm getting nervous now. There's something going on here. No cap.
Okay. Don't start with that. So I will say this, that a lot of the high oxalate foods are really high in nutrients as well. So we're not saying don't eat these high oxalate foods, just don't eat them.
No.
That's not what we're saying. We're saying that if you're starting to notice some of these symptoms, then maybe you want to take a look at what's going on with your oxalates. And we talked about the Food and Mood Journal, the Real Healthy You Food and Mood Journal. You can get that ebook online, therealhealthyyou.com, and you can go ahead and get it, download it, and you can actually fill out these different pieces that are going to help you to reflect on not only what you're eating, how you're feeling and how your body is responding to food. And you can go back, there's assessments weekly where you can go back and look, and you'll be able to see, wow, I eat a really lot of these same 4 foods.
Yes.
And they're all high oxalate. And you may be able to see something, a trend there that you can adjust. So that's why it's important to vary, right? So let's see, if you eat or drink calcium-rich foods at the same time that you're eating the high oxalate foods, that helps to balance also. So you pair them together. So you get a spinach salad, put some cheese on it. That's going to give you some dairy, right?
Yes.
Or if you have some yogurt, or you having, berries or raspberries. I love raspberries. They're high oxalate.
Yeah.
Let me put them in some yogurt.
There you
so
go.
So the calcium from the yogurt is going to help pair up and offset all the oxalates in the raspberries. So there are ways for you to manage this.
And if that happens, that means you get the nutrients.
Absolutely.
And that's the key.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're getting no nutrients.
That's true.
They're just going right out, where they're going.
So pairing the food for the best nutrient utilization, that's great to know some of these pairs.
Yes.
So go and educate yourself on some of these different pairings, like vitamin D and calcium. They go together. Vitamin C and iron, plant iron, go together. Citrus and
there's your green tea.
If you like green tea and citrus, they give you the ECG, the EGCG absorb much better if you've got the vitamin.
It does.
Vitamin C. So it's like you kind of put these things together, you pair them up, and it really works well.
It really does.
Yeah. So what about? So we talked about, are you allowed to eat vegetables? But then, of course, the next question is immediately, what about vegetarians? Are they at a really high risk for too many oxalates?
That's right.
Because they're vegetarians.
Because they're eating all the plants all the time.
Yeah. And vegans even more so because they're not eating dairy to help offset.
Oh, that's true.
And they're not eating meat
scary.
With the iron, they're not eating those, so they're getting strictly the oxalates without any counterpart to that.
But think about that, how scary that is. Just think about what you just said. The oxalates are in all the plants. There's some high oxalates and moderate and low. Imagine you eating oxalates all the time. Just all the time. Some people for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? And then you're not eating, there's no calcium going on.
Well, there's calcium in some of the plants, so if you mix the right plants, you can kind of balance
However, what's the...
It's not the same.
Yeah.
I mean, you can eat an orange and get vitamin C. A kiwi and get vitamin C. They're also high in oxalates, though. So,
that's what I mean.
Yeah, so you're getting them both. Exactly. It's a balance, I know. Here's the challenge,
It's
though.
so crazy,
The
though. Don't
challenge-
you see
The
it?
challenge is every person's health status is different.
It is. That's true.
So I might be able to be vegan for years before it catches up with me and I start having issues. Whereas you might find that after a year you have issues
yeah.
because you're depleted
Yeah.
and your nutrients are
Yeah.
depleted very quickly.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have the gut bacteria to deal
Yeah.
with oxalates, and
Yeah.
maybe I do.
Yeah.
So it could go more than one way. You know what I mean? And that's why there's not this distinct
Yeah.
do it this
Yeah.
way.
But
Because
wouldn't
there's
it
too
be
many
nice?
variants.
But wouldn't it be nice, Jamie, if you knew enough about diet variation to prevent every
Yes.
possible thing that scenario that could go?
Yeah, diet variation is where it's at for sure.
Come
I agree
on,
with that 100%.
absolutely. 3 months here, 4 months there. Go back
Yeah.
3 months here. Go carnivore for a month or two. Go get all of them.
She is so, what is the word?
I know, so dramatic.
yeah,
I know. No,
she's-
animated.
So
I'm
I'm
just.
going to say, guys,
Oh, I know what it is.
guys
It's my
out there,
culture.
she's very animated,
It's my
and
culture.
it's okay.
It's my
So
culture.
when you hear all of this,
That's me.
that's her. Just so you know,
That's
I'm just
me.
putting it right
That's
out there
me.
because there's no way all that's going to get edited out.
But it's
And
my
just know that's
culture.
what it
You know
is.
how people talk with their hands?
I know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, or you
I'm
can sign.
sorry.
You can sign.
I could no. You sign.
your
See, you know how to
hands.
sign. That's nice.
So-
Only thing I know is Father.
So back to
My Father in heaven.
that's vegetarians. So, if you have, if you're a vegetarian, you're obviously going to have higher exposure to oxalates. So you are that will reduce your calcium, your availability of calcium,
Yeah.
because the more oxalates you have, they're kind of taking up the calcium and taking it away. The zinc and the trace minerals are binding to the oxalates and they're excreting. So you're not getting them absorbed in your body. So you may
No.
you may end up with some nutrient deficiencies because of it. But when the food was grown, where it was grown,
Yep.
the weather conditions, when
Yeah.
it's being grown, what kind of pesticides or whatever, if
The
it's
varieties.
not organic,
Yeah.
all of that plays a part in how many oxalates this plant has.
Yeah.
So I could have one brand of lettuce and another brand, and one might have higher oxalates than the other.
That's true.
So there's a whole lot here yet still to learn. But back to organic, I mean,
Gotta have the
it's going
organic.
to give you a better chance if you
better
keep,
chance.
yeah, if you stay with organic.
I'm telling you.
And again, the gut bacteria. So that plays another role. So again, if you take care of your body, eat in variance, and give your body the foods it needs and the nutrients it needs, your gut biome would be in good shape and it will be able to manage the oxalates a lot better. So back to that, because digestive disorders are not your friend at all.
Remember, the brain and the gut go together.
That's true.
I know. I just thought I'd say that.
That's really true, though.
The brain and the gut go together.
Yeah.
Did I say it?
You said it.
Oh, good.
Okay. So oxalates, your body can manage oxalates. It knows how to handle it. So it's not like, stop eating oxalates, your body doesn't know what to do with them. Your body is processing oxalates literally all the time.
Yeah, they excrete them.
It knows how to, it
It
knows what to
excretes
do.
them. Yeah.
It's not that it doesn't. But again, even the greatest bodybuilder, he gets to a point where he can't lift anymore.
Mm-mm.
I don't care how strong you are.
Yeah.
You are Mr. America and you can lift blank 100 pounds. 1 pound over that, you're done.
You do.
There is a limit.
Mm-hmm.
And the body is, all its amazing abilities, it has a limit. So when you overdo it, the body is going to feel it. So even though your body's excreting the oxalates, if you get too many, or if you have pre-existing conditions which weaken you,
Yep.
weaken your immune
Yeah.
system, weaken your digestive system,
Mhm.
you're going to have problems with oxalates. So what do we want to say about that?
It's a machine. The body's a machine, an intricate
Very
machine.
extremely intricate.
I mean, do we get that?
If we stop interfering with our bodies, it will do what it has
That's
to
right.
do.
We keep creating problems.
Yes, it will do it by itself, guys. It doesn't need your help doing its job. It needs your help getting out of the way and, getting your selfish wants, your selfish desires, get out of the way and let your body
Do its own thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
So when we ask ourselves, I definitely I've eaten a lot of vegetables. I was almost vegetarian. I was never a vegetarian.
She's
like,
a salad
I'm going to
girl.
be a vegetarian. It was never thought like that. But I just never ate a lot of meat. I wasn't a big meat eater. And when I did eat meat, I only ate a little bit. And that's just the way I was. I didn't really think about it. But over time, I would be iron deficient. I would have protein deficiencies and things like that because the plant protein is not the same as meat protein.
No.
Meat protein is way, way, way more bioavailable, and it's way more per ounce as it is in plants.
Grass-fed, finished.
Yes. Grass-fed and finished meat.
It has to be.
Yeah, that's the best.
That's all the nutrients you can want right there.
That's true. So I was saying that, because I only ate mostly salads, I ate a lot of fruit and a lot of vegetables, I would have had a lot of oxalate problems. And now, only in retrospect, only now looking at the symptoms, do I see, I might have been having some
That's right.
oxalate reactions that I did not even realize.
Yeah.
The fatigue was terrible.
Yeah.
And when you look back through the symptoms, like, wow, the headaches all the time and all that stuff. And I never would have thought because nobody really mentioned oxalates. We just didn't know. And so you have to think about when you're stuck on one food group or you eat the same way every day. You're that person and all I eat is, a salad with tuna on it every day for lunch. And for dinner, I eat a piece of chicken and some broccoli. That's what I eat every day, day after day after day. That's going to lead to nutrient deficiency.
That's right.
Because that's not enough, that stuff, to be the whole circle of nutrients that you need, minerals, vitamins, etc. So we really need to be aware of that. So I'm checking my time because remember we're on the 30-minute. We're on the 30 minutes, so I'm checking my time. I got about. We have a few minutes left. About 10 minutes? You think? 2 minutes left. We are winding down. Okay, so the next subject is what kind of damage comes from oxalates. I think we'll save that for the next episode, so that way we have a full. We won't leave it hanging. I'll leave you hanging a little bit. So what kind of damage comes from oxalates? Impaired absorption? Think about it. I'm not going to tell you, but on the next episode we'll get to the answer to that.
Oh yeah.
And other things.
Impaired absorption of nutrients.
Dun dun dun! I feel like, Batman, when they used to have the cliffhanger. And then it would be a cliffhanger at the end, and he'd be like, oh no, is Batman going to make it? Is the Joker going to win? Blah, blah, blah. And you'd be like,
never going to grow up.
It's okay. So there's your cliffhanger. So thanks for listening.
What is it? I'm never going to grow up. What is that?
Peter Pan.
I should have known she would know it's Peter Pan.
Peter Pan. Everybody knows that.
Peter Pan. I never want to grow up.
Exactly. So anyway, thank you for listening. There's so much more to talk about. Please like or subscribe. Please follow us on our station, and also
check out that Facebook.
Check out our Facebook group community.
Amen.
So we will see you next time with part 3.
Yes. And have a great week. And take